Today we are going to learn how to find the volume of composed figures. All that means is that this figure that you see right here is composed or created from two different figures. So in order to find the volume, you have to break it into its two different pieces or its two different boxes and find the volume of each one, then put those back together. So for this composed figure, if I slide these two pieces apart, then I can find the volume of each of these separate boxes. So I'm going to slide this one over so we can see this one. We have 3 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 3 inches tall. That would be 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 times 3 is the same as 9 times 3, or 27 cubic inches. This part of the figure is 27 cubic inches. So next we find the volume of this part of the figure. The length is 3, the width is 2, and the height is 2. So that would be 3 times 2 times 2. 3 times 2 times 2 is the same as 6 times 2, which is 12 cubic inches. So this part of the figure is 12 cubic inches. Now, when I put them back together like they originally were, I'm going to add the 27 together with the 12. 27 from the bigger part plus 12 from the smaller part gives me 39 cubic inches. So the volume of this composed figure is 39 cubic inches. Well, there's another way I can break this figure into two parts. This is the same composed figure, but this time I'm going to take this part off the top. Now I have two different parts once again that I'm going to find the volume of each one. So now this part of the figure, the length is 5 and the width is 3 and the height is 2. 5 times 3 times 2. This part of the figure, the length is 3, the width is 3, and the height is 1. 3 times 3 times 1. I find the volume of each part, and I should end up with the same volume that I got the last time. Well, let's try it. So 5 times 3 times 2 is 15 times 2, which is 30 cubic inches. 3 times 3 times 1 is 9 times 1, which is 9 cubic inches. When I put the 30 cubic inches together with the 9 cubic inches, I get 39 cubic inches. So when I put those back together like they were to begin with, I still get 39 cubic inches, just like I did the first time. So it doesn't really matter how you split these things apart. as long as you split them into two different rectangular prisms. Let's try another one. Here's our second composed figure. As I look at this one, I think it might be easy for me to break this, instead of into two parts, I'm going to break this into three parts. And I'm going to find the volume of each part, then put it back together to find the volume of the composed piece. Okay, so this part is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, which is 8 cubic inches. This part is also 2 times 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2, or 8 cubic inches. And the large part measures 3 by 2 by 4, which is 6 times 4, or 24 cubic inches. So when I put them back together the way they started, I'm going to be putting 8 plus 24 plus 8 together. So 8 plus 24 plus 8, I decided to use the commutative property of addition to move the add-ins around, because I wanted to put the 8 and 8 together, because I know that 8 plus 8 equals 16. So 16 plus 24 is 40 cubic inches. This composed figure is 40 cubic inches. So let's try one that is a picture of the blocks instead of the actual blocks. When I'm dealing with a picture, I'm going to use some colors to help me break it apart, since I can't actually break it apart. So I'm going to color in this section as green, and then the other section I will color in as blue. So since I can't break it apart, I'm coloring it with two different colors. So when I'm calculating the volume of the green section, I want to find the length and the width. So the length is 8 units, the width is 2 units, and the height is 4 units. 8 times 2 times 4 is 16 times 4, or 64 cubic units. Now I'm going to do the blue. This dimension, this length is 4. The width, I'm going to look at the width up here, which is 3. And the height is 7. So 4 times 3 times 7, which is 12 times 7, which is 84 cubic units. So to find the volume of the green and blue together, I'm going to add the 64 and the 84. And get 148 cubic units.